Hi everyone. So the NEET PG 2026 date has been announced and it is on 30th August 2026 and we are sitting in January. So that means we have more than 7 months for our preparation. We were expecting that immediately after the INI-CET exam this is going to happen, and suddenly there is an addition of 2.5 months in our preparation. So it come as a good relief for a lot of people. It has come as an anxiety that how they're going to utilize this additional time. So in this video I will talk in detail that what you should do so that you can best utilize your time for the next 7 months depending on what stage of preparation you are in, right? So without wasting much of our time, let us straight away go to that how I can utilize my time in the best possible way. So if I am at your place, first I am going to assess myself that where do I stand. And the easiest way to assess yourself that where do you stand is by looking at your GT score, right? So for the sake of simplicity, I will say that divide yourself that where do you stand. If you are getting more than 120 correct in the GT, right? Now please remember, when I'm talking about more than 120 correct in the GT, now this is not a NEET recall GT. This is not a mock GT. This is a standard GT which is not on the basis of any PYQ or any recall, right? If I am getting between 100 to 120 correct in the GT, and if I am getting less than 100 correct in the GT, right? These are the three groups of the students that I want to divide. But wait, there is one more student. Who is that? The person who has not written a GT, right? So I can add one more who has not written a GT, right? So there will be lot of influencers who's gonna come and tell you, "Nahi, prepare and in 3 months you're gonna crack an INI-CET exam." Now that happens only on social media. That does not happen in the real life, right? Now this is a very practical video which I want to share it with you, right? If you are getting more than 120 correct, then you should give a full-hearted attempt, to INI-CET, right? That should be a first criteria. If you have not written any GT, your target should be NEET PG exam. That's all, without a doubt. Now, if you are getting less than 100 correct, then your predominant target should be NEET PG again, right? If you're getting 100 and 120 correct, then you should definitely target INI-CET, but your preferable exam should be NEET PG, right? You can't be 100% dependent on the INI-CET exam. That means you have to prepare keeping both the exams in the mind, right? I know this is a large chunk of students and you might have a confusion. So I'm going to try to address all of them one by one, right? So first let's talk about the student who are getting more than 120 correct. So if you are getting more than 120 correct in the GT, I believe that the third week of May is your first exam, which is INI-CET exam, and that is an exam that you should target, and you should try to do 3 revision before it, right? So now if you have already completed your first reading, you have your notes available with you, do reading of your notes plus Q bank or questions, which I say PYQ plus GT, right? Now, if you are starting with your first revision in the next 2 months, try to do your first revision. In the next 1 month to 40 days, do your second revision, and in the last 10 to 15 days, do the third revision. Don't think much about beyond INI-CET. If there will be a need, we will be talking about that beyond NEET, beyond INI-CET, right? The schedules for them, I have already shared lot of schedules. If you are a part of OTO Mentorship Program, you have R1, R2, R3, R4, and so on. If you are not a part of OTO Mentorship Program and you want them, right, comment on this video and this will be shared with all of you, correct? Now, if you are getting less than 100 correct, that means you still need lot of conceptual understanding of the subject, right? If your first reading is not yet completed, don't think anything else. First complete your first reading, right? First complete your first reading, make your thorough notes. The God has given you some extra time, and I think it is for you only. It is specifically being given for you only, those extra time that is gonna help you in reaching to your dream rank, right? If you have already completed your first reading, now you have to do 3 to 4 to 5 revisions, right? 3 to 4 to 5 revision, right? For them, my suggestion is start now and take first revision in 3.5 to 4 months. Lot of time will say, sir, 3.5 to 4 months, what about INI-CET exam? I say that should not affect your revision plan. Take 3.5 to 4 months. If you are a DBMCI student, TND is the perfect program for you, right? Now, TND start, which is the cycle which lasts for 4 months, incorporating one shot also, right? Now, if you are a part of OTO Mentorship Program, I have already created NPR1, R2, R3 schedule. NPR1, R2, R3 schedule. NPR1 is starting from 24 January, R2 will start from 3rd of February, and R3 will start from 13th of February. It has all the schedules created in a way that you can revise your subject, you can write the test which is given in DBMCI live, as well as you can attend the discussion. This is a perfect plan for you. But lot of time I know that you may get apprehensive that why and how I can give 3.5 to 4 months to my revision. So for those students who are anxious, what they can do is, now let us say that the ophthalmology is there, right? Revise ophthalmology. I have given 4 days to the ophthalmology. What you can do is you do 2 subject revision, right? Continue with the ophthalmology and divide your day into half and half. Half day you will read ophthalmology and half day you will revise another subject. What is that subject? Any subject that you have read at least 2 weeks before. Like let us say that you have read pathology 2 weeks before. So you can back it up by the pathology. So in this way, in 4 months, you will not be completing one revision, you will be completing 2 revisions, right? So if you think that you are a slow reader, do a 4-month revision plan, very thorough. I can tell you that the maximum improvement that you get in your score is when you do a very thorough first revision, right? If you are a fast reader, you want to do multiple revision, in 4 months, instead of doing one revision, you do 2 revisions, right? In OTO Mentorship, NPR1, R2 and R3 are planned for that, right? Now, if you are scoring between 100 to 120 correct at this stage, then my recommendation is try for INI-CET, but don't think that this is your predominant exam. Right? Don't think this is a predominant exam. Be ready for the NEET PG because this is a more dependable exam. The number of seats in the NEET PG are far more. Obviously, the competition is also more than the INI-CET. In an INI-CET, if I want to get a clinical seat, I have to be within 1,000. Whereas in NEET PG, I need to be in 10,000 and sometime even now 15,000. Right? So this is a more dependable exam, and since I have 3.5 months more, I will be able to get a better grasp on the subject. Right? Now, let us be very practical. A student who's scoring 140 correct versus a student who is getting 110 correct. Bache, in an ideal situation, that means there is some difference in the preparation, and this difference can be compensated by adding more time. So I am not telling that don't prepare for the INI-CET exam, but your predominant target should be NEET PG exam, right? So what my suggestion is, go for this, but add the revision. That means in 4 months, you will not be just doing one revision, you will be doing 2 set of revision, dividing your day into 2, right? Now, all these schedules are already been uploaded to all the students. If you want any support from my side, please let me know. I believe that the difference is gonna happen is the people who remain consistent in these 7 months. Please remember, it is your hard work, it is your consistency that is gonna decide that where you're gonna be in the NEET PG. Don't forget that it is not gonna decide in 3.5 hours on the NEET PG day. Your rank is gonna be decided on each day that you are using now, the way that you are putting your hard work, the way that you remain consistent, the way that you remain disciplined for the next 7 months of your preparation. If you want anything else, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you in the best possible way that I can. Take care and may God bless you all.